Stop doing that. Hi. I'm Alice.
And I'm Andrew. That's LM. Yeah, I guess you get to go first on this one.
Okay, good. My name's first.
Yes, whatever.
But when we're not taking center stage, we're just your typical LA couple.
Yes, or interrupting each other.
I'm a stunt double, so I trip a lot, fall a lot, run away from explosions, and participate in a lot of mayhem.
We're pretty active. We love doing lots of different things, most of which I'm not game for, but I end up getting talked into anyway, and I'm hanging onto a GoPro jumping out of a plane.
This guy does not like heights.
Heights are a negative.
I've made him jump out of an airplane. I've made him climb to a 14,000-foot mountain.
And I took a nap on the side of the mountain from altitude sickness, but it was still quite the adventure and definitely worth it at sunrise. I've had the pleasure and the honor to work with some of the greats, James Cameron, Michael Bay, and Christopher Nolan. And now I get the lovely pleasure to work with you every day. But it's great. When we're not off, having adventuresome times, jumping out of planes and flying fighter jets, we actually like to discover and actually share culture with the world. We get to see and travel places that not many people have been to, even heard of sometimes, and we actually get to share that experience and capture it.
We've been to places like Cambodia and seen the temples there. We've been to places all over Borneo and Malaysia. We've been to the Great Barrier Reef.
Great Barrier Reef, which was great. Went a little dive in, all the way up to China, which is quite a cultural, I wouldn't say shock, but it's interesting because you just don't read much about China. You don't hear much about China. They're pretty much closed off, and when you're actually immersed in their culture, you find out, the culture of their people. You meet people on the streets, their everyday life, and then you're climbing the great, the Great Wall, and here you are, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm actually in China. And
trying all the weird, different, and bizarre foods of these places is always quite the adventure as well.
Yes, Andrew's tummy only likes certain foods, and I'm quite adventurous, but when the cab driver tells you don't eat anything in the market, I don't eat anything in the market, so.
Yes, we were in Malaysia one time, and I was like, oh, fish market, there's all these great things to eat, and Andrew was like, no. But you know what, it looked delicious, so that's where I got my dinner.
Yes, and I just kept a scotch. Can't get sick off that. Johnny Walk never hurt anyone. It's quite the gift that we have, we have just a few cameras, and sometimes it's just a simple idea and something that we've wanted to explore on our own, and we end up going out and doing it, and we get to be that link between people and the world, and there's just so much to see, so many things that are happening out there, and the experiences that some people just might never get a chance to do. We get to share with people. It's adventure aside and stunts aside, movies aside, it's a amazing part of this job.
We always are challenging each other a lot. So I think that's one of the reasons why we love what we do so much.
Yes, I'm constantly being thrown out. I'm in a plane I'm like, oh, happy birthday, here's a hot air balloon ride. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I'm terrified of heights. Well, good job, Andrew. 2 points for you, bro. So
yeah, this guy is the king of surprises.
I try.
When we first started dating, he would just give me little notes in the morning that said, be ready Monday, pack these things in a bag, and I'll pick you up at 7:30 in the morning. And I was like, who is this guy?
A question for all you ladies out there.
But he ended up being the most amazing man ever, and he's definitely had some of the best, most epic surprises of my life. So
I try.
Hot air ballooning over Napa with a glass of champagne for my birthday was great.
It was amazing. It was beautiful.
many others. So.
Yeah. And I think, a lot of that is life, the experiences and finding that person that will be your counterpoint in which to push you to the point where you will jump out of a plane at 18,000 feet or white knuckle the side of a basket while some guy's dumping 18,000 pounds of propane into a balloon. you know, you learn to live with things. But we challenge each other a lot. There are some things, I don't know of anything that Alice is scared of, but I guess that's the scorecard I got. Cool. But yeah, so that's pretty much what we're about. Adventure, fun, exploring, culture, and pretty much bringing the world to your doorstep. So I'm Andrew.
And I'm Alice.
And this is our show. It's her birthday. Hot air balloon, it's so early. And it's so sunny. There's a 360 of what we look like.
Andrew's gonna be scared.
I'll be scared.
And then we're gonna have champagne at Tromso.
What is this crazy voice you do?
That's my crazy voice.